Hello and thank you for watching. This is STSC back again with LEGO Transformers 1 D-16. After building Orion, of course I had to build his best friend as well. D-16 takes on the typical Megatron space tank form, and I have to say I had a surprising amount of fun building him. Compared to Orion, it was a breeze, and everything came together super smoothly. While I'm honestly not a huge fan of tank Megatrons, I find myself genuinely really happy with this build, and I like it a lot. TF1 went for a relatively fresh take on the Mega Tank with its capital U shaping, and I think I did a decent job at approximating the design in LEGO. Flipping the tank over, you can see I've used grill tiles to represent tank treads. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get that texture to continue on the tops of the front treads. The tank turret is able to angle up and down, but unfortunately it can't rotate left and right. The barrel itself is a little bit ugly, as it's all hinges and anti-studs, but that's to accommodate what I think is a really cool bit of transformation. However, I do really like how I was able to approximate the trapezoidal shape of the barrel's end. One inaccuracy in this mode is that I'm pretty sure the back chunks, which will become his shoulders, are meant to be rotated 90 degrees. I didn't realize that until pretty far into the build process, and felt that it was a subtle enough inaccuracy that it wasn't worth completely revamping the shoulder transformation over. In the back, you can kinda see his robot head poking out, which may not be ideal, but on a Cybertronian alt mode like this, I'm not terribly bothered by it. Bringing in Orion, I think the two look great together. I'm not entirely sure how this scale compares to the on-screen models, but it feels about right to me. That's all there is to say about tank mode, so now it's time to transform. After a quick and simple conversion, here we have D-16 in his robot mode. Like with Orion, I prioritized this mode, and it turned out great. He's a little beefier than the movie model, which, while inaccurate, I don't think looks bad. He feels powerful and commanding, and that's definitely appropriate for the character. I simplified the shaping of his boots slightly to make them easier to create in LEGO. The movie model has a slight curvature to the shin, whereas I opted to just make them flat. Regardless, I think they look good. One of my favorite details is that the tread even hides away, flipping around and storing behind his shin armor. Just like on Orion, I went with a 5-wide chest. However, with how D-16's transformation works, it was much easier to accommodate this time around. His arms are nice solid bricks and use mostly basic building techniques to achieve their shaping. Just like Orion, I've used roller skate pieces to construct D-16's head. His is a little simpler, but it's a decent approximation of the bucket head look. As an accessory, I've built D-16's fusion cannon, which can simply stud onto his forearm. Once it's on, I think it looks amazing. Turning him around, you can see he does have a bit of a backpack, which is kinda accurate. It should be a little smaller and shouldn't be hollow, but his design does have the tank turret here. You can also see that the tank's barrel folds up along the backpack, which is one of my favorite parts of the transformation. I really enjoy that it doesn't have to parts form like the Studio Series toy. Bringing in Orion for a size comparison, you can see D-16 is just a tiny bit taller. I believe this is more or less accurate to the film, but regardless of accuracy, I like the scale a lot. When I made the decision to build the main duo from TF1, my main focus was on Orion. D-16 was really just a partner piece, something I only wanted to build to go with Orion, rather than something I was interested in building for its own sake. Shockingly, he ended up being my favorite of the two. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of G1-style Megatron designs, or Megatrons with tank alt modes, but despite that, I'm still really happy with this build. It's just a fun, solid action figure, and has kinda won me over to liking the film design more. And of course, once he's together with Orion, they make for a wonderful duo. But that's all I have for now, so I'll see you next time.